Hi, my name is Michael Hope, and this is a presentation outlining depression in ministry. Why do pastors struggle with depression? The reality is that pastors struggle psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually, just like everyone else. Becoming a pastor doesn't exempt you from depression, and being a follower of Jesus doesn't necessarily make those things disappear. Charles Spurgeon was well known for his deep bouts with depression. According to the Church Answers blog, there are 5 primary causes that pastors identified as the reason for their depression. First was spiritual warfare. Constant spiritual attacks can wear pastors down, which can cause an emotional downward spiral. It can be surprising for a pastor to discover the reality of pastoral leadership. A pastor shared, "I wish someone had told me how tough it is to be a pastor. After a year in my first pastorate, I saw the underbelly of local church life, and it caught me off guard. It took me some time to realize I was depressed." Critics and bullies. Pastoral leadership can be death by 1,000 cuts. It's not any one person or criticism. It's the steady stream of criticisms that can wear a person down. A sense of inadequacy. A pastor shared, "My church was declining, and I felt like it was all my fault. I really began to hit rock bottom." And finally, loneliness. Pastors often lack emotional support because their position can create barriers to vulnerability, trust, and reciprocal relationship in their professional and personal circles. The first warning signs of depression can be found in your thoughts and attitudes. Are they negative? Your thoughts have power. They influence emotions, attitudes, and shape behaviors. They determine how people perceive and respond to life's challenges. Depression is usually gradual, so many times people don't even realize it's happening. The following is an abbreviated list of common negative thoughts and attitudes to be watchful for. Thoughts and comments related to persistent hopelessness, sadness, and apathy, increased cynicism, sudden lack of empathy toward congregants, complaints about ecclesiastical leadership, the board, or the congregation, negative self-talk, like it's all my fault, I can't do anything right, a belief that God doesn't care or has been unfair, and finally, thoughts and comments about marital trouble or evidence of inappropriate sexual behavior. If you notice a sudden increase in negative thoughts and attitudes, it may be a sign that you have depression. Depression severity. There are different levels of depression that can range in intensity. The following is an outline of symptoms associated with mild, moderate, and severe depression. Mild depression is marked by a low mood, minor loss of interest in enjoyable activities, feelings of discouragement, physical symptoms like a knot in your stomach, and temporary spiritual withdrawal with rational thinking and normal eating and sleeping patterns. Moderate depression intensifies the symptoms of mild depression with dominant sadness, occasional crying, difficulty concentrating, self-preoccupation, self-blame, appetite changes, trouble falling asleep, and spiritual withdrawal marked by reduced prayer, church attendance, or fellowship. Severe depression amplifies the symptoms of moderate depression, including extreme sadness, hopelessness, frequent crying, guilt, self-blame, self-neglect, disrupted sleep and appetite, difficulty performing daily duties, and either total spiritual withdrawal or obsessive preoccupation with religious matters. People with severe depression can begin having suicidal thoughts. A depressed person can move from one level of depression to another. The differences are more in the degree of symptom severity rather than the symptoms themselves. Depression for pastors is real. If you are experiencing any of the depressive signs or symptoms described in this presentation, there is help. Contact one of these free resources to learn more about treating your depression. You don't have to suffer alone. In conclusion, pastoral ministry demands immense spiritual, emotional, and psychological resilience, leaving pastors vulnerable to depression. Negative thoughts and attitudes often signal its onset, progressing through mild, moderate, and severe levels with increasing severity. Common causes include spiritual warfare, leadership challenges, criticism, feelings of inadequacy, and loneliness. Depression is a serious but treatable condition. Recognizing the signs and seeking support through counseling, crisis hotlines, and community resources can provide the help pastors need to find hope and healing. Thank you.